Hey there folks, Reza-Kaze here, and I am back with the final Darksiders 2 gameplay and commentary. First off, just really quick, where I was coming from, I think in the last episode I was trying desperately to get that little hook thing there. As it turns out, I was completely wrong in the direction of going. I did it, but my recorder wasn't coming up quickly, and I already found it. If you drop down that little elevator shaft sort of thing, instead of doing what I was doing and dying over and over again, you get that. And it's actually treasure chest, a significant item, not a real significant item, but one of those special item things that floating around there. So, this episode is a long episode, and I decided to cut a little bit as much out as I possibly could, but this episode's still gonna be a little long. But I really wanted to get this done and over with. It was really stretching out more than I anticipated it was going to, although I knew it was going to be a lot of episodes. Actually, it didn't stretch out as much as I thought it was going to. In fact, I really thought it was going to be like 10 episodes longer. But I ended up, obviously cutting those down. So, this is my final thoughts on Darksiders 2. So, I'm just going to be, once again, it's been a while since I've done one of these episodes, going over my positive and negatives with the game, what I liked about it, what I didn't like, what I thought they could improve, and just my overall general feeling of the game, whether you should get it, if you should pass on it, or maybe just take a look at it. Now, if you've been watching my videos, your desire to play the game may not be all that high, and I feel that might be a mistake. I appreciate you guys watching my videos and this Let's Play, but one of the great things about these kind of games is to experience the story for yourself and just what you can do with the customization. And by just watching Let's Play videos, it really takes away from that sort of fun. And after doing this, I realized that doing a Let's Play of Darksiders 2 was a mistake. A lot of the Let's Plays I see people do, one, they are plenty more popular than I am. They have, they gain as much subscribers in half an hour as I do total right now. They gain as many views in the first 10 minutes that they upload a video than I have total on some of my videos. Those are the people that can get away with these sort of Let's Plays. And a lot of the Let's Plays I've seen, with the exception of Markiplier, where he does like the Slender games, the Amnesia custom stories, people that do the Let's Plays are doing them of sort of classic games. One of the guys that I watched, Michael from Achievement Hunter, also he does Rage Quit, but he also on his own channel he'll do Let's Plays, and he does he did what originally made me start watching it was he did Resident Evil 4? I think Resident Evil 4. He's doing currently Banjo-Kazooie, Shadows of the Damned. He can get away with those. It turns out I really can't get away with these Let's Plays all too much, because it's just not, just not that sort of popularity, I guess I could say. This game is new. People really do enjoy the game, I believe. but I think Let's Plays should be held in classical sort of speaking rather than new games, because you know, the new games, people don't want to really be saying spoilers online unless they are not have no intention to play the game, and I feel we really should play this game. I'm actually getting way ahead of myself with that, given my recommendation already. So let me get right into the positive and negative of the game. I'm going to start with the positives. No, you know what? I'm going to start with the negatives. We'll bash the game right off the bat. The game wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be to start off with. Now, this is probably going to be spoilers, of course. This is the final thing of the game, the final sections, final 40 minutes of the game, cut off a little bit and whatnot. I will not be talking over the cutscenes. I'll shut up for you guys to watch that. I don't know if I'll get to them because the first cutscene is like 22 minutes in, and I don't know if I'll be talking for the 22 minutes. If I am, I'll shut it up. If not, I'll just, you know, raise the volume so you can actually hear the game and just finish watching the actual gameplay and not me. But I'm not going to talk about the ending because you didn't see the ending yet. You know what I'm saying? So the game wasn't what I was hoping it would be. With the way Darksiders 1 ended, War was saying that he is not alone. He has his brothers, and then off in the distance, his 3 brothers rode in. That kind of ending, you know, you just sort of have that feeling there's going to be a multiplayer co-op. It's what it's got to be. It has to be. Turns out it wasn't. It was the same single-player, main story campaign driven as the last game. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Not talking about positives yet. I'll get into those. I keep getting distracted. But, you know, I was hoping for that multiplayer aspect. With 4 horsemen, you definitely have the drive and the potential to have that major co-op aspect. You know, 4-player co-op, or, you know, play as one of the riders and, you know, have one of those join-in sort of thing. It has that aspect. They just didn't jump on it. Now, I was reading some sort of article, I think in Game Informer, talking with the developers after the game came out, and the reason why they didn't do it is because they felt they still had a story to tell. And the first game actually could have gone either way with telling War's story or Death's story, because they felt that those were the 2 best ones. Not bashing Strife or Fury in any sort of way, but feeling that these 2 are in fact the most popular of the writers. I think he was hinting at that sort of thing in a later game. I don't think they're gonna make single games for Strife and Fury. I could see him doing it. I'm not looking forward to that sort of thing. You guys might already know about my sort of little pet peeve with these sort of popular video games, that they can definitely drag on, and I like to think that games should keep a trilogy max, so to speak. And I'll think I'll talk about it in a whole different video, but I'll just briefly touch on it. I don't think games should have more than 3 games. Meaning, you know, whatever, 1, 2, and 3. Talk main console games, because those kind of games always have some sort of handheld bit on like PSP or DS, 3DS, Vita nowadays, whatever it may be. They're starting to come out with it more, but now they're like, I touched on this, like, I think in my Battlefield video a week or so ago, that game developers don't want to create any new independent projects because of the current console limitations, so to speak. They're not powerful enough to run some of the effects and just some of the overall software that these people are running, that the developers are coming out with now. And they want to wait for the new consoles to really generate any new IP projects. And that's all fine and dandy, but then what's left for us in the current generation? We're left with, Assassin's Creed 3, which is actually the 5th main console game. You're left with Halo 4. You're left with Resident Evil 6. Now, some of those games aren't because, there's a lack of independent projects. Halo is obviously a cash cow. Same thing at this point with Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil. They're creating the games to, fucking get that money. That's why they're creating them. Now, should they stop? I think they should. When I talk about my Trilogy Max level of thinking, when you look at video games, to tell a proper story, if you're going to only do 1 or 2 games, obviously you don't have that big of a story to tell. You're telling it, it's to the point, boom, you're done. If you keep with a second game, like the way Infamous did, you better tie up the loose ends so people don't think of a trilogy. Now, Infamous 2 had that stupid, not really stupid ending, but a very controversial ending to think that there could be another game. Now, when you think of 3 games, you really believe that everything is coming together, everything is being finalized, everything is being said. The problem with keeping a trilogy is a lot of times it doesn't stop at 3 games. Now, the issue with that is anytime after 3 games, I think it's really starting to just be money-hungry cows. And I love Assassin's Creed to death, but this is the 5th main game. They need to end it. They just need to end it. Darksiders, they have the potential to create an intense story, especially with a multiplayer, a co-op option, for you and 3 friends to team up as the 4 riders of death, the 4 riders of the apocalypse, to save this end war. I don't think, it doesn't look like they're going to stop at 3 games, sadly enough speaking. I don't think they're going to create 2 new games for each one of the other characters, but I definitely see at least 2 games left, which is sad to say. I hope they don't do it. I hope the next game that they do make is going to be it right then and there. I hope it finishes that. Moving on. Another big negative that I had about the game is the trophy. I 100%ed trophies, the Darksiders 2. One of the trophies, which I thought was the stupidest thing ever, was a share trophy, which is you share a weapon or gear or whatever with a friend. As it turned out, none of my other friends played Darksiders 2. None of my other friends looked like they even played Darksiders. So that was a problem for me. I ended up cheating around it. There was quite a bit of forums, looking for the help. And, that was quite fine. That's exactly what I needed. I got the names up. We made each other friends. We ended up sharing trophies or sharing equipment, and we each got a trophy. That's how you do it. I see what they were doing. I see what they wanted to do. But it's weird to punish a gamer if they wanted to get 100% in a game that they don't have any friends to play the game. And it's just sort of weird, you know, you're playing a game, especially in Darksiders 2 when it doesn't have that multiplayer option yet, that you are telling them basically to make friends. Like, what if you don't have a friend? What if you don't have any friends? You know, that's kind of suck. To be completely honest, you don't have any friends, but one of the trophies requires you have a friend. I thought that was weird. I know what they were wanting to do. I know what they tried to do. I just didn't think it was a very good idea. One of the other negatives... Oh, sorry. You may see a couple, like that one right there, a couple little quick pause and unpauses. Those are just simply video cuts. I got it as close as I possibly could. All there was either in that location with just me going into my menu and either upgrading my equipment or just changing around my equipment in one way. Boring stuff, you didn't need to see it. The DLC is not looking too promising. There was already one, which was Argyl's Tomb, which was free if you got the game right away and got the limited edition. I think that's weird. I think I'm gonna have to talk about that in another video. Limited edition for games that the first round is... Oh, no. Anyways. Argyl's Tomb was alright. I did a video of it. I'll link it in the description to Argyl's Tomb if you didn't happen to see it. It's in my playlist. It was quick. I beat it in about 3 hours. Maybe not even that. 2-3 hours. I got it all in one video, so it wasn't that long. It was probably maybe only an hour and a half of game time, to be honest, which was really short. And for those who had to pay for it, which was like $5-6, I thought that was a ripoff. But just thinking ahead to the rest of the DLC, which is probably going to be at least 2 or 3 more DLCs, I don't seem too confident in the fact that the DLC is going to be very great. I think they may be good. They'll provide some, you know, new weapons, new armor, possibly even new enemies. But then what's the point? Right now they got you level capped at 30, which you have to do 2 playthroughs of the game to get. But if they don't increase, the enemies are too easy. And I'll explain why they're too easy. That explains another negative, is that you hit a real easy streak with the game. Meaning that the game becomes immensely easy for you. Now, you could have the whole challenge yourself and not use these sort of weapons, but in the same aspect of the game, they're giving you these sort of weapons, so why am I not going to use, you know, my best possible weapon for a boss? Or best possible armor for a boss. What I'm talking about is that you can have my scythe ends up giving me wrath on critical and health on critical. Now also what I get is some of my other armor, and within my weapon, my critical chance is increased by, I think 200%, I think it was. So I have a 200% better chance of hitting critical, which means I have a 200% better chance on increasing my health and all that stuff. That is a lot, you know, especially for barely getting damaged. I can constantly wrath spam. I can bring out my ghouls, increase my strength, increase my defense, lay down some hits, have perfect health, have instant wrath again, and then boom, lay down some more ghouls again. That did get a little easy. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, just don't use the weapon. It's a powerful weapon, even without thinking about the whole wrath, wrath, whatever it is, and health increase. It's a very powerful weapon. Why would I not use a powerful weapon against powerful bosses? You could challenge yourself no doubt about it. But I don't. So that's the negatives of the game that I thought. Let's go into the positives for the game. First and foremost, that it has an epic story. If you are like me and absolutely love storylines within the video games, you know, there are just, you know, playable movies, come to life books. I love the way Darksiders 2 tells a story. The way THQ decided to do the storyline. It was amazing. Room for future games, obviously. I feel that they are going to make more games. Hopefully just one more. Ended with that. Boom. Create a new project. But the story is definitely one worth looking up and definitely worth playing. It definitely is. Okay, I think this is... I'm getting close to a cutscene here. I'm gonna quickly go into my next topic before I hit the cutscene. Multiple modes and side quests. There's plenty of side quests and areas within Darksiders 2 that you do not need to complete, but it's helpful for leveling up and then awesome weapons and stuff like that. There's also multiple difficulty levels, including a nightmare mode, which I have not touched. I don't think I'm going to. I don't get anything special for beating nightmare mode, which is just if you die in battle, you gotta start all over. Alright, so I'm gonna be quiet for this cutscene here.
So, the Charred Council sends only one horseman, even to the past. No, this visit is unsanctioned. In fact, no one knows you're here.
Not so. Hand over the key, it can be our little secret.
Pitiful. Flawed castings from a perfect mold. Absalom was always stronger than the rest of you.
You'll find me strong enough, Samael.
Yes. You have overcome many obstacles to stand here before me. But sometimes the hero dies in the end. Ask your brother.
Will you surrender the key, or must I take it?
Horseman, you already know the answer.
So yeah, Samael. I thought that name sounded familiar when I first heard it. This is when I realized that the storyline of the game wasn't exactly as I thought it was. I thought the storyline took place after Darksiders ended, but it wasn't until about this time where I realized, Samael is locked up where War is. Why is he here? And I realized that the two storylines sort of coincide. Yeah, they do. So, I was talking about the multiple modes. They have a nightmare mode, which is if you die in battle, not including if you're like, say, just traversing area and you fall into the lava, that doesn't count. But if you die in battle, your save is deleted, and you start over from the beginning. It's sort of like Dead Space 2, I want to say, where if you only get like 3 saves. You can die as many times as you want, but you can only save 3 times total. But if you died, you go back to your save. Now that's not the case with Darksiders 2. If you save, no matter where you save, and you died, oh, so what? You're dead, and now you have to deal with it. Now you got to start all over. Now, I was thinking about doing it, but there's no reason to. I already beat it on the hardest difficulty. I beat it on the regular difficulty, and there's no secret bonus endings for defeating it on another difficulty. And I looked up on it, and Nightmare Mode is no different. It's stated that it doesn't have any sort of special ending for it, which is disappointing. I guess that could be another negative. The last positive I'm going to talk about is that the weapon and gear customization is immense. You can do a lot with it. That also means you have the ease of getting very, very powerful weapons and almost indestructible armor, to where, you know, you can have your health taken down halfway, and then all of a sudden you do, the combo is the stick in R1 to dash, and then you hit square, then you throw your scythe. That combo right there, even if you have like half health and like half breath, that will fill it up instantly. That's what happens. Even with that saying, there is still a lot you can do. A lot of cool looking armor, customizational armor, the Abyssal armor, the Crow armor that came out that was free not too long ago. Some of the other weapon types, it's pretty cool. Another cutscene, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch that again.
Interesting. Perhaps you'll succeed after all. Either way, it will be quite a show.
So, well, there's gonna be another little cutscene here. I guess I can keep quiet for you while you watch another one.
Whatever game you're playing, Lilith, it doesn't matter now. I have the key to the Well of Souls.
Then redemption lies within your grasp, and the choice is yours. Will you save one brother, or will you save them all?
I guess now this is another time for a negative as well. With that one line, I felt that I had a choice. That I could revive humanity, or revive the fallen Nephilim. And I thought, wow, you do all this for war, and you can still decide whether or not to say fuck him or save the Nephilim. But it turns out, no matter what you do, you can't save the Nephilim. I think I maybe looked a little bit too much into that, thinking that I could do something more when the game really had no intention of. But tell me what you think. That one line, does it sound like you can do more, that you can have a choice of what you wanted to do? I thought it was. So, to wrap up, this game was amazing. Definite improvement from the last game. Storyline, battle sequences, customization, it really did increase a whole lot. I still think they missed out on the multiplayer portion, and I hope they include that in another game soon. If for some reason you haven't bought this game, and you played Darksiders 1, and you thought it was, like, okay, get this game. The story, it was all just amazing, you know. The way it flowed, the way it felt. For a fan of the series, it is a definite buy. If you haven't played the game before, I would suggest looking for Darksiders 1 first. It's not 100% necessity, more like a 90% necessity. I still think you should play the first Darksiders first before you play the ones. But in either event, this game is definitely worth it. I'm going to wrap up this commentary right now. I'm going to leave you with the last 10 minutes or so of the game, which is just going to be the final scenes.
I have the key.
I hope you... I'm just going to talk over the Crowfather.
Then at last you may enter the world of souls.
I'm going to let you guys leave with that.
No returning on this
I hope you enjoyed my commentary today. I hope you enjoyed my Let's Play. I hope you enjoyed every single one of my videos. I like to thank every one of you who watched through and through, or even if you decided to pick a few episodes just for little tips and tricks, that's quite fine too. That's what my videos are here for. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, which I have no idea what it's going to be. Thank you again. This is Reza-Kaze out.
Here and now.
And this is Reza-Kaze out.
Have learned, Rider. Corruption is the end of all things. Even death.
Tree, the keys, the well. Why do I get the sense you are testing me?
You test yourself, old friend. For what you've done. For what you had to do. And now you face the ultimate test. Will you bring death? Or give life?
Have you ever wondered, Death, why you are untouched, while those around you wither and rot in the grip of corruption? Could it be that you are already blackened by the sin of betrayal? How can you defeat that which seethes in your own heart? You cannot stop me without forever damning your soul!
Then so be it.
my hand once more, brother.
Absalom. Stopped the corruption. I stand at last at the Well of Souls, with no idea what I must do next.
It is quite simple, and yet most difficult.
I'm in no humor for riddles, Crowfather.
You may tap the power of the well to return the kingdom of man, or you may resurrect the Nephilim. But know that choosing one will forever doom the other.
My brother War. I would protect him above all.
To return man to the earth will require a sacrifice. From death came life, and the seeds of humanity were resown. But death's journey was not ended. On the shattered earth, his brother War had slain the Destroyer.
You will be hunted. The White City for certain, the Council, and there will be others. You would wage this war alone?
No. Not alone.
War had broken the seventh seal, summoning the horsemen of the apocalypse. And the number of the riders shall ever be 4.
You are alone, Lilith. Where are my Nephilim?
My prince,
The end war is upon us. Yet instead of the army you promised me, death has returned man to the balance.
I await your punishment.
This time, Lilith, you will get no pleasure from it.